This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Through the relationships that we have through different organizations, particularly with Kansas Corn, this is the second time our interaction with Greg Christick has led to a contingent. The first contingent that came through here, I think, was in 2015 from Mexico. So this was our second opportunity. And for us, since we're playing in the international markets, it's a wonderful opportunity to give them our story, talk about our businesses and what we touch, and hopefully they see the capability that we have as a long-term supplier for their needs over the long run. I think the message that we were trying to especially get across today is, as ethanol takes hold in the gasoline pool of that specific country, what they're going to find is, as the blenders find that value, there's a decent chance that the consumption of ethanol is going to exceed their local supply. So don't be afraid of imports. Don't be afraid of having to bring it in from a source outside of your country, because there will come a point in time where your domestic production will be able to meet that need. And it may be that your domestic production exceeds the need that you have within your country, and then you're going to be able to be that exporter. That's kind of how it happened in the U.S. over the last 15 or 20 years. And I suspect that most of these countries using it for the first time are going to experience the same thing. But don't be afraid of having that import need. We did it in the 2003 to 2007 timeframe. We were pretty significant importers of ethanol, and now we're an exporter of ethanol as we've built out. So depending on the plants, we have certain plants now that align in certain export lanes. And so without getting too specific of those plants, what we've been really focused on is, A, can we logistically make it a better situation for the destination that it's going to be going to? B, can we make the spec reliable and rateable where they are getting a constant, consistent flow of that certain specification need for whatever country that might be? And then third, economically, can we continue to make that happen on a very regular basis? Those are the key things I would say. I think what people get hung up on is just looking at the ethanol value versus a straight up gasoline price. And when you look at the economic benefit across all octanes, we have 113 octane, as an example. I think what they will find out is that the economic benefit stretches way beyond just that ethanol versus gasoline price. And by way beyond, now you're moving into dollars of value as opposed to cents of value. Again, from a long-term standpoint, I mean, obviously our hope here in the United States is that we continue to get the benefit into our own fuel supply. What history tells us, again, is as that value is seen at the pump and seen by the consumer, you will see A, domestic growth, and then B, what will happen is your production base, your feedstock needs will grow as well. And as that happens, what it does is it gives you more capability to supply outside of your own domestic needs. We have multiple destinations we go to today. The impact, at least in the farming community here, we are growing more corn on fewer acres today than we did 40 years ago. And the benefit is, because there's value for those feedstocks here domestically, they're growing more of it, and they're growing more of it economically. So that, to me, is the long-term win-win for all these different countries that are looking at it for the first time.